Most people get stuck visualizing, hoping for a breakthrough, but I found a better way. By shifting my subconscious mind, I manifested over $47,000 in just 31 days. Now, I was mentored by Bob Proctor, and I'm now top 1% of his consultants worldwide. And I'm going to break down the proven steps that I've used so you can use them right away to get real results for yourself. Now, visualizing alone is not enough to make money appear in your bank. Okay. I used to do this for years. I mean, I'm 29 now, but I've knew about manifestation, visualization, Bob Proctor, The Secret, probably since I was about 20 years old. So we're talking 9 years. But from 20 years old to 26, I was absolutely broke. Okay. I lived in a council estate in Manchester. I lived in a flat. My ex-partner was paying the rent, and my life was going nowhere, even though I had access to this information. Now, I came across something that absolutely changed the game for me. When I got mentored by Bob Proctor and I went through one of his coaching programs as a client, I didn't really think about teaching this material or anything like that. If I'm honest, I just wanted to put some money into my bank. Okay. Now, I got introduced to this figure here called the stick person. Now, I want you to imagine that this is you. Okay. Now, at first, it looks pretty stupid, but this is by far the most powerful concept that I have ever come across for attracting more money, more peace, more love, and more prosperity into my life. Now, bearing in mind, like I said, 3 years ago, I was broke. In a very short period of time, I've not only managed to become top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants, I've manifested an amazing partner. I've manifested over $47,000 in a single month. I've manifested the car that I always wanted, the house that I've always wanted. And my life is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. And I want that for you as well, right? So I want you to imagine that this stick figure is you. And this top half is your mind. And this bottom half is your body. Okay. Now, top half is your conscious mind. Bottom half of your mind is your subconscious mind. And this is the part that we want to focus on today. Okay. Now, your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. So if you're visualizing, if you're seeing the life that you want, if you're doing affirmations, but you're not mixing emotion or feeling with your words, then you're going to get no results because emotion and feeling is the language of your subconscious mind. Now, yes, our conscious mind is our thinking mind, and that's where our thoughts are. Now, our thoughts trigger feelings, but it's only thoughts that we internalize and we add emotion to. And this is what I was doing for years. I was doing affirmations, but I was just saying the affirmations. There was no intention, there was no feeling, there was no emotion to them. And that's why I kept getting the same results over and over again because this part of the mind, the subconscious mind, it doesn't understand words. It only picks up on the feeling and the emotion behind the words. So if you keep repeating, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, but you're just saying it logically with no emotion, then your subconscious mind cannot pick up on it because it doesn't understand that language. Its language is emotion. Okay. So here's what I started to do that started to transform my income and transform the way that I started to attract clients with and through my business. I started saying affirmations, but I started saying them with so much emotion and feeling. Now, at first, this can be a very tricky thing to do. And this is why persistence and repetition is going to play a big part in you being able to influence your subconscious mind and manifest more money. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick a specific amount of money. You can't say, I want more money. If you go outside tomorrow and you pick up a pound or a dollar on the floor, there you go. You've got more money. We need to be specific because the subconscious mind really loves specific instructions. Okay. There's actually a great story in the book by Joseph Murphy called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's a crazy story, right? There was this man and his daughter was in hospital with a terminal illness. And he kept going round to his friends and he kept saying, I'd give my right arm to make my daughter better. I would give my right arm to make my daughter better. And he kept going round to his friends and saying, I just want my daughter to be better. I'd literally do anything. I'd give my right arm to make my daughter better. Do you know he got involved in a motorway accident? He got flipped out of the car and his right arm got ripped off his body, and eventually his daughter actually became better. So you've got to be very careful with the instructions that you give your subconscious mind. So you want to be as specific as possible, right? So first step is pause this video and write down the exact amount of money that you actually want to accumulate. The second step is you need to sit down and decide what you're going to give in return for the money. So what product or service are you going to give other people that they are going to exchange their money in return for it? The third step is decide on a date when you want to earn this money. And don't make it too long, like 2, 3, or 5 years. Put some urgency on it. 3 months or 6 months is what I always recommend for my clients, okay? Fourth, you want to create a plan for how you're going to accumulate this money. Now, you're not going to know exactly how you're going to manifest this money, but you do need to be taking action steps every single day that are going to move you towards your goal. So one thing that I get my clients to start off doing straight away is at night, they write down 6 goal achieving activities for the next day that they believe are going to move them towards their goal. And by the way, these 6 goal achieving activities are income generating tasks. They're not studying, they're not visualizing, they're not affirmations. These are physical actions that are going to lead to physical results. Now, the fifth step that I want you to do is write down a written statement of the amount of money that you want to earn. I want you to put your time in there, what you're going to exchange for it, the plan for accumulating it, okay? And then sixth, I want you to read this statement out loud first thing in the morning and last thing before you go to bed. Why? You see this part of your mind? It never sleeps, okay? When you're sleeping, you're not thinking, so your conscious mind is sleeping, but your subconscious mind is always awake. Now, through repetition of saying this written statement out loud first thing in the morning and last thing at night, your subconscious mind is going to pick up on it, and then you're going to start attracting to you everything that you need to manifest more money into your life. Our brains become magnetized with the dominating thoughts that we hold in our minds. Think about that. We literally become what we think about. Are you thinking about money, or are you thinking about not having enough? Okay, we need to convince your subconscious mind that the amount of money that you want is already on the way. So when I started implementing these steps, my subconscious mind, through repetition, started to believe it. I started to expect it. And as I got emotionally involved with this new financial goal, that emotional involvement, it changed my behavior. Okay. So my actions changed, but it also sets up a magnetic attraction as well. Think about it. This earth that we live on is moving at an inconceivably high rate of vibration. And this earth, this universe, it adapts itself to the dominating thoughts that we hold in our minds. So if you're constantly thinking about your financial goal, you're planting that into the garden of your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind knows exactly how to manifest it. Your subconscious mind is connected to infinite intelligence. So when I started to implement this, clients started showing up. The way I shown up on YouTube, the way I shown up on social media, it started to change. But the crazy thing about it is beforehand, I was already doing YouTube videos. I was already showing up on social media. I was already running workshops, but I wasn't getting the results. When I started to change what was going on inside, none of my actions on the outside changed, but they started to work effectively because I came from a place of expectation. What you expect, you attract. And those steps that I've outlined will cause your mind to start expecting that this transmutation will take place. And any idea, any desire that you hand over to your subconscious mind in a state of belief or expectancy that the transmutation will take place, it absolutely must take place. That is a universal law, and it will take place and transmute itself into physical reality by the most direct and most practical media available. This is what I take my clients through in Thinking into Results, the 6-month mentorship. I genuinely believe there is not a better goal achieving and self development program out there. If you want more clients, if you want more money and more prosperity, this is the place to be. So keep watching my videos. If you want help implementing this material, then go to the link in the description and download my free £10,000 plus month breakthrough blueprint. I break down how to rewire your subconscious mind and actually how to manifest more money by changing your financial thermostat. And if you would love to go deeper with me and you want my support and you want to understand more about the mentorship that I offer, then go to the link in the description and book a one-to-one call. But don't forget to implement the things that I say in my YouTube videos. You know, I was listening to someone the other day and what he said was so true. He said, if we watch a podcast or we read a book or we go for a program and we don't apply it, it's just entertainment. We might as well be scrolling through YouTube shorts or watching Netflix or scrolling through TikTok. We need to implement it. We need to stop and we need to take action on the ideas because ideas are worthless unless we act on them. So move into action.